Erev Tov Rabbatai. Let's continue with Pirkeh Avot. Pirkeh Avot, right? It says over here, Ben Zoma Omer, Ezeu Chacham Halomed Mikol Adam. Very good advice for people, right? To know this Mishnah. What does it mean? Who is considered to be Chacham? Right? That's a question. So the answer is Halomed Mikol Adam. What does that mean? He learns from everybody something. So this is a very good thing, you know. We talked already in the past lectures, right? We talked about the issue of Derech Eretz, you know, and things like this, how good it is to have Derech Eretz. We mentioned all these things. So the truth is, you know, the Talmud says we can learn also Derech Eretz from an animal, you know, from a cat. You learn Derech Eretz. What do we learn from a cat, Derech Eretz? You know what it is? Then when he goes to the bathroom, he does it b'tzniut. You know, this Derech Eretz from a cat, from a chatula, you know. Right, so you can learn Derech Eretz from even an animal. All the more so, you know, you can learn from people. You know, people who are much smarter than cats. You know, you can learn a lot of things from them. So it says, right, Halamed mikol adam. What does that mean? You can learn something from anybody. Doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a big rabbi or a big, politician, president, or a gabbai or whatever. It doesn't have to be nothing. Somebody does something smart, you see, right? You see him, he does something clever. You say, this guy's smart. Look what he does. So you learn from him. And don't say, don't be bar gava, and say, I have to learn from him. I'm better than he is, I have nothing to learn from you. I'm better than you are, No, don't be like that. Be anava, Bring yourself down. Don't think you're so smart, you know everything. What, you know everything? You can't learn nothing from this guy? Yeah, I'm smart, I went to university, I have master's degree. This guy, he didn't even finish high school. So, what can I learn from him? Yes, you can learn something from him. He has some chokhmah. The way he conducts his business, right? The way he, treats his family. I remember, Maran, Rabbi Ovadia, he told us a story, very interesting story, Here's something interesting. He said one time he was at a certain function, when he was younger, he was a rabbi in Mitzrayim, in Egypt over there for a few years. He went over there, they signed a contract with him, and they got a salary, and he went there to be the rabbi there. So what happened was that, he used to meet over there those Egyptians, the Muslims over there, with their Muslim culture, everything, right? So you know how it is, right? So he met one Muslim guy there, so he said, right, that they were sitting together, and his wife brought him something to eat, when they were talking. This Muslim guy, So the Muslim guy, tells the rabbi, he says, this is not really good, this food, He says, but I don't want to disappoint my wife, If I tell her it's not good, she's going to get upset, maybe cry, I don't know, God knows, It's not going to be nice for her to hear that, especially in front of the rabbi, to insult her like this. So he says, I'm going to say, that it's good, even though it's not really good. He tells the rabbi, like this, So you see, right, that even from you can't learn from a Muslim guy something, you can learn also from him, you see? This is chokhmah, What, every time your wife brings you something and you don't like it, you have to tell her, oh my God, this is terrible. Oh, eek. You speak like that to your wife, it's not nice, You're insulting her like that. No good, Shalom bait, kavod, you have to give kavod to your wife, right? That's one of the things that I posted the other day. It says in the Talmud, right? In Masechet Bava Metzia. It says over there that Rabbi used to tell the people in his town, if you want to be rich, you want to get wealthy, you want to be a billionaire, you want to be, right? So how do you do it? One way, right? One of the best things is to honor your wife. Give kavod to your wife. Because when you give kavod to your wife, the parnasah comes from there. You want to be smart? So don't give your wife a hard time. Don't be tough with her. Everything, you have to complain. Everything, oh, this is no good. You don't do this good. You don't do that good. You don't do this good. Why are you giving your wife a hard time, all the time? Not nice, So you want to have bracha in your family, you want to have wealth, osher, give kavod to your wife, first of all, So this is, you learn from this Ishmaeli, from this Egyptian guy. Don't be hard on your wife. It's a very good thing, So that's the thing, right? Ezel chacham, Who's Chacham? He learns from everybody. Doesn't matter who it is. Whether it's Ishmaeli, or, it's a Chatula, right? A cat, in the street. You learn something from anybody. Doesn't matter who it is. Right? Don't say, what am I? Me? I have to learn from you something? You're a peasant, I'm a king, I'm Melech, what do I have to learn from you? Nothing. Right? So that's not the way to do it. So that's called Chacham, that he can learn from everybody and everything. Something he learns. He watches, and sees. Doesn't matter whether it's Jewish, but here's the thing, right? You have to learn from everybody, it's true, But at the same time, don't learn the bad things from them, Learn only the good things. You have to know how to sift out, Like, you have to have a filter, The filter in your mind has to sift out the bad stuff. That stuff don't learn. From people, the bad habits that they have. Learn only the good things that they have. That's the thing, That's when you're really Chacham. And by the way, that's why, it says in Halakha, there's a Halakha like this in Shulchan Aruch, brought down. If you know a Chacham, right, Rabbi, but he doesn't have Irat Shamayim, He doesn't keep the Halakha himself. He himself is corrupted, Something wrong with this guy, I mean? He talks, one thing, but does something else. He doesn't keep himself the Halakha. I remember when I was young, learning over here in Kollel, after I got married, I went to one Kollel over here. I'm not going to mention the name of the rabbi, I was learning in this Kollel. And I learned with him for 1 year. I was there, 1 year, He was here in the Queens. And, they told me, this rabbi, he knows a lot of Torah, very knowledgeable, big Chacham, they told me. And I believed it, and the truth is, they were right, He knows a lot of Torah, it's true. But here's the thing, Here's the thing. Every time they would do, Mincha Arvit, like we're doing here right now, right? Baruch Hashem. Our shul over here is doing better than him. And I'll tell you why. Because even though he's the big Chacham, right? The big rabbi. When we're doing Chazat HaShatz, like our friend over here did, Boris, Chazat HaShatz. So what's halakha? You're not allowed to talk during Chazat HaShatz. It's a big averah, to talk during Chazat HaShatz. Let's be quiet. So, this rabbi, the big Chacham, what he would do? Chazat HaShatz would start, Adonai Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agit Telatecha, right? He thought that when it says, right, he says, my mouth should open, he thought he should talk. So he was talking all the way through, from beginning until the end, right? Until Sim Shalom. HaMevarech et Amo Yisrael B'Shalom, Amen. Until then, he was talking. Even in our shul, nobody does this. You know what I mean? And he does. So, what is chokhmah? What is it worth? Not worth nothing, A rabbi like this, he talks all the way through, 100%, Doesn't stop for 1 second to say Amen, Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo. Even that doesn't do. What kind of rabbi is this? This is the big chacham. So, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Chazat HaShatz, when we do it out loud. So, the halacha says, if you see a chacham like this, that he doesn't have Irat Shamayim, don't learn from him Torah. You're not allowed to learn from him. You know why? Because if he doesn't care about the halacha, his Torah is also corrupted, It's broken, No good. Pasul. His Torah is pasul. Don't learn from him nothing. So that's the thing, that a person has to know to learn only the good things, not the bad. Don't learn the bad stuff. Don't learn from this rabbi. He talks. He's a rabbi. I can do it too. I'll do the same thing. No, it's against the halakha. Don't do like that. Don't learn from this corrupted rabbi. This kind of thing. No good. You can't learn from him that. That's what we're saying, right? Learn only the good things, but not the bad. That's, by the way, it says, about Rabbi Meir. Who was his rabbi? Who was Rabbi Meir's rabbi? Elisha ben Avuya, right? They gave him a nickname, in the Talmud. You know what his nickname was, right? Nickname. Acher. Why they call him Acher? Because he was kofer. He became a kofer, He became a pikoros. So, and Rabbi Meir, yeah. So Rabbi Meir was big chacham, So he was able to learn from him. Even though he was apikoros. You know why? Because he knew how to filter. He had a good filter. So he could leave out the bad and take only the good. He was big chacham, but apikoros. So he was learning from him, This is what we're talking about over here. That you have to learn only the good things. But if you don't know how to make a filter like this, so then don't learn with a chacham like this, because he's gonna corrupt you. He's gonna mess you up. I mean, he himself is corrupted. What is he gonna teach you? Something good? What is he gonna teach you? Only the bad thing you're gonna get from him. Right? He's gonna corrupt you. That's one thing. Okay, good. Let's go on a little bit, right? So it says, we gotta stop? Yeah? Okay. Okay, we'll stop here, Rez Hashem. Next time. Baruch Adonai Leolam, Amen ואמן. רבי חנניה בן הקש אומר, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא לזכר ישראל, לפיכך חיבר להם תורה ומצוות שנאמר אדוני חפץ, למען צדקו יגדיר תורה וידיר.